What is going on, family? I had to jump in on a quick live. I hope you're all doing well, my friends. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. I wasn't planning to come on tonight, guys, but the time was good. Happy Saturday to you too, bro. It's like we're here. Turn the music down. Yeah, feeling very bullish. I think it's just it's crazy to see, like, it's crazy to think how things have panned out for us, man. You know, we still got a bit of room. Well, I don't even want to talk about that right now. Right now, it's all about the Benjamins right now, man. Money's coming. What's happening, Ram? What's happening, T-Ball? Hope you guys are doing very well. And good evening to you. I do feel very bullish, brother. I do feel very bullish. It seems kind of unreal because what's happened for most of us is we've been riding this absolutely crazy crazy kind of bull market where right now rate cut expectations is the only thing that the market's going to play. Now the macro, to be fair, the macro is long term. I think it's even more important for us to get out. And I'm going to tell you why we need to get the F out and never look back this cycle. And let me bring something up. Let's go and have a look at this. There are some brilliant projects right now are the complete steal, guys. Like literally. So we're going to look at some of those. We're going to talk about Cockro as well and what's going on over there. And most importantly, I really want to talk about what's happening. Basically, it's the macros is a funny picture, guys. And I do believe we in the, let me have a look. Where is it? My macro notes. Let's have a look at this. It's going to be a glorious end to our run. Whenever that comes, boy, oh boy, it's going to be glorious. No sleep season is here. It is Crypto Gems. Absolutely, bro. It's you know, I'm listening to all kinds of music to help me cope. And here's what no one's gonna tell you, right? Like, no one's gonna talk about the day after tomorrow. Now, if you guys remember the famous Hollywood movie, The Day After Tomorrow, I'm gonna remind you, this is how the bull market is gonna end. Is gonna be ending into a crazy, crazy recession. I think late 26, maybe 27 will be tough years. That's why we got to do what we can. We got to do what we can, guys, to make as much money as possible and sit around with this stable coins ready to come back into the market, because I think there will be life-changing opportunities for most of us here. Sleep season, yeah, 100%, bro. What is going on? Crypto Crossroads Show. What's up, brother? I hope you're well. It's been a while since you caught my life. Listen, man, lately it's all about, it's just kind of like being a crazy, crazy focus, mostly internally within the Discord. But I try to do like few live streams as much as I can. Yeah, I should be recommending a few good drinks as well to everyone. The game of cryptos. How are you, bro? Looking good as always. Good to see you too, brother. Doing very well. Hope you're well too. Of course, it's stressful. It is that time, but we do have this next kind of 3 months. You know, like Illy's Crypto said, there is no bedtime. Like, this is it. And of course, you know, we're going to be recommending drinks. We're going to be talking about horsepower, you know, Lucasade, whatever, Red Bull, to stay active, energetic with 4 hours sleep. No sleep in this bull market. Bro, I'm absolutely going into it with my best kind of lack of sleep condition, if you can think about it. I haven't slept since Trump rugged us. But honestly, right now, I wanna change our mindset. Everyone is talking about what else to buy. There is never ending. Crypto is like a drug, right? A never ending. What else? What else can I buy? What else? It's never enough. Your bag is never enough. Well, you better leave that mentality behind. You better start thinking about exiting. You gotta use you can't just use the price of Bitcoin and ETH, because you'll get caught out. And you've got to add Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance. You've got to add a few more bits and pieces to the puzzle, because if you are solely looking at the Bitcoin dominance, oh brother, you will be round tripping. And honestly, this is one of the most powerful lessons that I can give anyone who's on the live stream tonight. It is 100% that you need to start changing your mentality, because 90% of people come back with the bags. So now is a good time for you to start to check out what you have, what you want to get rid of, and what you want to focus on, for sure. So let me just set myself here. Okay, so I'll definitely check some of your questions and projects as well. Stack some say at 30 with 2.5 grand. Fantastic. If you had any to allocate another 2,700, what would you allocate to? So the first thing I would do is I will hold on to that with both hands, not allocate. I'll keep it as a USDT until the end or towards the mid of this week. Why? Because it is super important for you to stretch that money. Now you sit with, like, say, for example, 2.5, 30 cents, right? This is a 10x project. So what we need to do is We just got to hold on to that money. So I wouldn't buy anything right now. I would keep that money and then just tag me in the Discord. I will give you a list of something to go all in on. And also as well, shoot across your portfolio to me, because I know a lot of people. I've got through like at least 10 portfolios this week, a few more this morning, and I'm going to continue to do that. It is absolutely vital for us to do that. So yeah, definitely blessings and greetings to lovely South Africa. And like I said, you know, hopefully when all of this finishes, we'll definitely come down for a nice steak over there in South Africa. Greetings to you too, Fuad. So guys, before I check coins, again, the whole premise of my show today is to put you in the mindset. We will look at some coins and what they're doing. And we will definitely talk about these tokens. But let me just set the scene, because a lot of us do not have the privilege to kind of think long term. Sometimes you're working, and it's very, very important for you to get one or two pieces of the macro from a fellow retailer, let's say. So historically, we know what's going to happen, right? Possibility of a smaller rate cut is better for us. We know that. We 100% know that, because historically, that's exactly what's happened. 50 basis points will bring a much more dangerous question into the equation, which is a fear that the market would think basically there's more broken, and therefore we're in deep shit. We are in deep shit because the R word is looming, right? Recession is looming, but there are examples of previous dips with 50 basis points. I think the biggest takeaway from this piece here that I published in the to the guys is slow and steady. We are expecting nearly 1% this year, like 0.75 to 1% rate cuts this year. That's unbelievable. That is so much fuel for the market. You guys don't even begin to realize that. That's insanity, right? Trump wants 3%. I mean, going into next year, we are expecting maybe another full 1% into 2026 or during 2026. But for this year, at least 3 to 4 cuts are lined up, actually going into early next year. So going into January. And this is going to be very important. Slow and steady. The market is not spooked. And this is why I'm incredibly bullish, because if you're doing that, historically, the price of Bitcoin right now, where we are, it's important to understand that we've been at key levels anyway. The daily here is slightly oversold, but we could see Bitcoin shooting towards that $150,000 quite quickly. Now, in addition to that, guys, in addition to looking at that and thinking about it in those sense, like 4 cuts, 3 cuts, are you kidding me? If they were to introduce 50 at any point of this entire process, it means it's an admission from the Fed that a lot more is effed up, and therefore market spooks, and the dip is slightly longer, bigger, whatever you want to call it. But either way, 4 rate cuts, 0.5%, 0.75 to 1%, that's going to be absolutely insane. Now, in addition to that, because the picture gets better for us, like if you're not buying like altcoins right now, especially within this week coming up, then I have no idea what you're doing. If you're feeling bearish right now, I think you've not survived a proper bear market. You don't understand what happened with Luna or SPF, whatever that's happened before, or April, Trump's inauguration back in Feb. These were all major, huge issues for us. Like, the clearest indicator for alt season is the total 2, because you need to have at least 100 You need to have a percentage of the top cryptocurrency, top 100 outperforming Bitcoin, and the total too is your Altseason indicator, guys. Regardless of what anyone else says, that is the real deal, and that's what's going to impact the bags. Now, in addition to this, we have had an entire collapse almost. You've got revisions on the labor market, you've got revisions on inflation, which is positive for us overall because they went back. Inflation came in as expected, but the recession talks have already began quietly, and market is preparing for all cases. That's why it's important for us to participate now, because these winter months will be life-changing. It all comes down to 4 years of hard work, okay? It's not so much about which altcoin you hold. Yes, you've got to anchor your portfolio. I'm still recognizing major mistakes. There are bullish layer ones, bullish kind of core holdings. There's bullish meme coins. There's bullish RWA projects. And then there's those narratives that haven't actually moved all cycle, like gaming. We've not had a gaming run. So we'll look at that as well. So what does it mean for us? If the rate cut come, and of course, at this particular moment in time, we are going to be looking at Trump's tone, Powell's tone, the Fed's, we're going to see what happened next. The Fed's going to give us their calendar for rate cuts. And that's all going to be very important for us. In addition, so we have the clearest indicator for Altseason. However, there's one point I wanted to make, which is regarding this bit of news. So the underlying economy is weakening. I know people sometimes say, oh, DXB, we just want the coins. Yeah, I understand. But you also need to understand, in order to buy these coins so you can sell them, you've really got to understand what's going on long-term in the space. So underneath all of this, we saw between Jackson Hole and the most recent consumer price index movement, how much of the data was attained by the Fed to form a bigger picture. So ultimately, after the Fed reacts, when the Fed reacts, we need to watch what Jerome Powell says, because I think they will kind of have some type of sell the news event, and then the markets will fully send, if that makes sense, right? So it would kind of be, it'd be momentarily kind of, okay, yeah, we've been pricing in these markets, and then the markets absolutely take few people off guard. Of course, that's why I'm asking you to DCA or hold off any buys and buy projects slowly and dollar cost average. Like what Mahindra did there is he bought some SAY, but he does have equal amount of stable coins on the side. So if SAY comes down to 25, 26, the support levels, which is, which can be a wick, there's no issue in kind of organizing your buys like that. But we are going to see, let me just get my bearings right on this. After all of the bullish kind of write-ups that I've been doing and the research that I've done, I did drop an absolute gem yesterday or last night. I'm not sure if any of you read it, but this was, I think this is a classic, what I consider to be something you need to read and you need to understand. And I'm going to share this with you, with the wider family, and then we will get bullish. So rate cuts, what you really need to understand. Bitcoin looks really good. RSI about to reset on the weekly, by the way. The daily is approaching oversold territory. We know that, but it can stay up there for a long time. But we just, with 3-4 days to go before the next meeting, the market's already celebrating and conditioning people to say, yo, it's time. It's time. And the man's gonna get punched in the face like in the UFC. You know, Bruce Buffer, what a legend. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. And please hear me out. And I promise you, I will tell you every coin you ask me about tonight is gonna go 100x, right? But you must listen to this. This is why I came on this live stream. And if you appreciate the honesty, the level of preparedness for that kind of shit, smash a like. I can't see any likes on this thing. This is institutional level research that I'm about to offer you in exchange of a like. Anyway, let me go through this with you. It's important not to FOMO. Why? Because the market has already given you, these tools are used as part of the collective market psychology. We have 100% rate cuts. The debate here is there's a 3% chance of 50. We don't want 50 anyway, but they are preparing for 4 rate cuts from now till the end of 25, possibly into Q1 as well. And altogether next year, there is a continuation. Trump wanted a whole 3% cut, and Powell may give him maybe half of that, maybe even 2 over the next 12 months. So we need to really be careful. But let's talk about this moment, this specific moment, the week before the rate cuts. So Bitcoin, I've already given you what Bitcoin's doing, right? I did say to the group that Bitcoin was going to kiss 117 and then maybe reject or whatever, but that's not important. What's important for you right now is to get your cash, look at your portfolio, and say, what do I want to hold? What do I want to trade? And what do I want to grab immediately? What can I grab next week? And wait, don't have this urge of missing out. You've been here for months. You've been here at the April lows. You've been here at the depths of the depression. All of a sudden, man's are like, I need to buy like yesterday. Like I need ASA. No, chill out. Let's see what happens. So here's my thesis. Everything is rallying. People will be screaming, bull is confirmed. And I guarantee you, that's where you see, that's the headline for everybody. Bull is confirmed. The noise is getting louder, but anyone who gets lost in the hype will need to bring in some kind of different perspective. And I'm hoping I'm reaching people just for another week, maybe 2. You never know. But this could be the best bit of advice that you ever got. 2 advice, actually, two bits of important advice. One, it's time to think about selling in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Gotta get out of the market. It doesn't matter. Don't be emotional about any bags. Sell, sell, sell. And the other one is, what do we do right now? What is the clarity? And this is the clarity. Rate cuts do not fix the economy. I repeat, rate cuts do not fix the economy. For example, we have job revisions. We have NFP to the point of distinct labor market weakening. We have inflation picking up, right? Which is going to initiate a cause for concern for the Fed. Remember, we've got to listen to the tone, the tonality of the Fed. And of course, the plan is going to be very important and how they cut. Okay, liquidity stress beginning to emerge in the bond markets. We've been talking about that for a long time. And that's another thing that is adding to this whole picture of inflation still rising, unemployment on the rise, job creation at the weakest point for many, many years. So a rate cut is not going to magically solve these problems. These are, monetary policy works with a lag. Okay, it may take a few weeks, few months. Nobody knows. We are going to get a bull market, but a lot of this hype that the market is pricing in right now is to try and trap people for a little bit and then boom, send the markets. I've done a 90-day plan to say, look, we're going to buy whatever we can, whenever dips come. And then we're looking at October, November, December, and then maybe spilling into 2026, which is very likely, by the way the cycle is going. So monetary policy works in a lag, and this is why the CME Fed tool is at 100% rate cuts, because they know retailers just going to say, oh shit, cuts are happening. And then the big YouTubers are going to come out. Every idiot on X is going to say, Altseason is now. But we need to look at the total too. So this is to give you confidence and no nasty surprises. I'm not doing this because, I've been right or I've been wrong. I've been wrong many, many times before. But this is going to make you feel so much better, because you are prepared for any drop of the market, but you are also fully prepared to exit the market. And it's all going to go down in a very short space of time. Very short. No chance of anyone who gets caught lacking is going to come back down with the bags. So let's continue. News events could trigger small pullbacks, right? So if you think of, there's this interesting comparison between gold's ETF from 2004 and the price of gold subsequently going into, like, I don't know what the a 20-year bull market or 8-year bull market, 8-year bull market, and Bitcoin starting to behave like that. So we do lag gold by a couple of weeks. And this is the crypto bigger picture that I wanted to share with you guys. So the blow off top is here and it's coming. The Altseason, the parabolic move, is 100% coming. so you know, screw the bears. I mean, I'm saying it's 100% coming. But you need to be smart about how you navigate these things. Why? Because 80% of the people will lose money over the course of the bull market, and many people will chase just to break even. And that is the talk that I hear: wrong allocations, projects rugging us, shit projects here and there. And before you know, your capital dwindles over time. So all I'm saying is, don't chase any green candles between now and the rate cuts. Don't feel like you're missing anything out, because you've been here, seen it, been here, done it. And most of all, but you know, the bull market is not about making it through one kind of bullish moment after months, or in fact, a shit year. Really, 2025 is probably been the worst since back in 2022. So all I'm saying to you is, don't get wrapped up with the hype. Don't lose your sight of the bigger picture. Accumulate projects that are either charts that are looking dead right now. Strategically position yourself in the key narratives, i.e., you know, L1s and AI, RWA, meme coins, and then take advantage of a narrative like gaming or whatever else you want to trade and get into. So that's a bit of my long introduction regarding this particular date that's coming to us right now. Is probably the most dangerous date for many people here tonight who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to hear this. This is a classic setup. Don't be one of those people. Just listen to me for a minute. Hold on to your bags. Hold on to whatever, you know, if you're up, say from last 2 weeks, if you're up ridiculously on a coin, take some chips off the table. Wait till Thursday. See how the market's moving. Kapow. Then you got opportunity to buy. But these events have always historically, when they are this anticipated, they will cause a little bit of a catch for many investors. Now, on a greater outlook. So how do we get out? When do we get out? When do we sell our bags? This is also very key. But the most recent data that we've had indicated clearly that the US economy is slowing down, grinding to a halt. And of course, the BLS revisions were confirmation. There will be another BLS release. The last release on the 9th of September saw the economy producing minus 911,000 jobs. Okay, so overall, the estimate was minus 700K. And this is where in 2026, these headlines will come back in, of course. Revisions tell us that, of course, almost a million fewer jobs in the American economy, which is going to be a cause for concern. And then if we move forward, this weakness is not just going to be isolated into revisions. The NFP release on the 5th of September showed that in August, the economy just added 22,000 jobs. For context, the US historically needs to be at least plus 80,000 jobs per month to prevent upward pressure on unemployment. Over the last three the average job gains have just been 27,000. And that's hugely insufficient to maintain a stability in the labor market or to keep their Fed mandate. And with inflation unemployment drifting towards the higher 4.4%, the long-standing average of 4% between March 2024 and July 2025, this is going to be something that we need to watch. And historically, stocks typically bottom 6 months before the unemployment rate peaks as markets are looking forward. So unemployment, on the other hand, tends to lag. Now, we're not going to get into too much of this economic stuff, but looking at the PPI and CPI reports that we've just had as we go into the Fed meeting, then, of course, expectation for the increase was always there, but it could have been worse, in my opinion. The Trump tariffs have definitely shown, I don't know whether they've suppressed that data or whatever, but that data could have been worse, right? So it's already hot, but it could have been worse. And if Powell flips this switch, you can guarantee that this bonanza is going to continue. They are going to continue to print money, and of course, it's for future administrations to deal with this stuff. So possibly recession sometime, but yeah, that is my overall analysis, and I would definitely come back to your favorite topic, which is the crypto situation right now. But you do have a very clear picture that I'm giving you, and I hope that takes a lot of your anxieties away, because you now know what's going on. You now know that you've got your bags filled, and you don't need to stress about putting another $1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000, whatever you do in the market. Just hold on to your money a little bit, and we're going to smash it, guys. So yeah, so let's have a look at some altcoins. I have actually dropped a pre-sale gem today in the VIP as well. So let's have a look at the brothers. So the first one spoke to this one. Let's have a look at Loop. Yeah, I'll skip this one unless James, unless it's on here. It's very difficult to look for these types of coins, but I'll come back to it. Maybe I'll go on to DEX. Yes, Kiwi. So I did a video on Kiwi. I also pulled a buy alert, but then this happened. Now, my latest understanding is, I'd love to talk to Cave about this as well, but if you see a chart that does this, still up to date, to be honest, but this is, 9% against whatever, market cap just 3 million. And look at this, all-time market cap went as high as 16 mil. So 16 mil back down to 3 mil. Nothing crazy, but you saw this well exit. Right? This was brought straight back up I'm sure this was by the team that brought this back up. And this was a huge dump. I mean, you know, to recover from that and stabilize, I'm not really sure what happened to the contract there. But we can look at this as a high risk, high reward. I'm down on my bag, to be honest, on Kiwi. But the opportunity for this to launch a working project is still ahead. If they can do that, I think they get some people back into the project. But smart money looks like smart money is just being, yeah, you see that was yeah, this is super like that sell order there. That's a full clip. And if we look at, let me just get Dex trades. The beauty about Nansen and these types of intelligence tools, to be honest, I mean, you could do a lot more deep dive than what I typically do here. But if we look at, let's say, sold, and then we go filter that by amount. And we can actually look at the seven. I mean, people, when people clip and you're starting to see, like, you know, you know, you get an impression of what projects really, like, you know, what people buy and sell projects for, what they swap it for. You know, there's what did he buy? Yeah, he bought Kiwi. There's a lot more trades. We can actually filter this down to specific trades and transfers and see who bought, who sold. But essentially, you see this is the interesting bit. So somebody must have got out and they must have just, or maybe it could even be just kind of liquidity switch and spook people out. When something comes out as good as it did, I think this is where this is what tells us the truth. So what you're seeing is accumulation is going up, right? You see balances are going up, but prices are coming down. Typically not a bad sign when that happens. You see the price at the lowest and people are accumulating more. Now, in terms of smart money has also sold, and 31% of all smart money. Now, smart money, the classification of smart money here in Nansen is basically wallets, token millionaires, DEX traders, people like that, right? People that have high P&L across their, or high balance or high net worth individuals. So what you're seeing is 31% of smart money has sold, so it's down by 31%. And then let's have a look at what what KOLs are doing. So KOLs, to be honest, there is one KOL here, Matt Stefanina or something that they tagged. He's received a decent chunk. So it might be a new KOL into the project. So yeah, he's got nearly 1 million tokens worth about $3,000. And public figure, yeah. So he seems to be the only public figure that has received a large chunk and hasn't really sold or anything like that. It's really hard to say, but I do believe because it's a high risk, high reward, and there is, you know, again, I'd love to get to the overall bottom of what's going on. Volume's down, holders are down. You know, you see people are panicking now, but you still have some snipers in it. So the early snipers are transferred out. 81% of the snipers are holding. 15% have sold partially, and only 1% have dumped all. And yeah, they hold a total supply of about 1.5%, which isn't bad at all. So to tell you the truth, what I would say is I'm still going to hold this purely because of just these kind of metrics don't really convince me. I think, that might have been liquidity swap or something. See here, bridge, Kiwi investment recipient. So this guy just clipped his whatever he had in there. So there's more, to be honest, there's more to go, but this is why I think the main whales have been buying back this project. Distribution wise, top 100 holds 36%, supply held by Fresh Wallet about 3%, and the average medium hold is about $140. So yeah, still isometric bet, still very risky. It's no Bitenso Tau, it's no Sui, it's a shit coin with a promise to do extremely good with their DEX offering, which is why I invested into this. The utility, if they can get it right, it is absolutely superb. So they haven't really shown that utility yet, but I hope I've given you enough to kind of tell you, look, man, that is a high risk, high reward. Thanks, Graham. Let's go to Block. So when everybody was kind of shitting themselves last week, remember we did see the rise, and then now you see this, right? This on the daily. I mean, if you look at this, so this was last week, right? There was a recovery here, and then kapow, couple of red candles there, and then things become more and more scary for people. But right now, $25 million market cap, circulating supply is about 47%. Volume is minus 19%, and at $1.8 million. A slight drop in the holders. Very good audit score. I mean, listen, with this one, I'd be a little bit more patient. But what's not acceptable is this types of, every few days. This is when the recovery really started here. And then kapow. This is like last week. So, yeah, Blocks is an interesting one. In terms of holders, in terms of the overall balance, let's see if I can get some balances in. Take this out. So yeah, again, there's a moment anyway when the price comes down and they see the value. So when the price is high, and you can see dumpage started here from the end of August, really, the price has been taking a nosedive. Boom. And then last week, 6th of September, do you see that? Right there. 6th of September, we went up and everybody got bullish again, but the balances continue to climb. And who's buying it? Whales. Whales are buying it, man. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Smash the like, guys. Always gives us helpful, bro. Nah, I appreciate you, brothers. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. I sent you my portfolio update to you, Realist. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. Promise I'll go through every single aspect of that, and we will definitely see where we can put money in. Ultimately, where we can take money out. That has to be. You have to have that conversation with yourself, or together at this stage of the bull market. Take a look at the mirror. I say, should I let that shit go, or should I keep it? And that is something, it's the most important thing, man. This weekend, if you've got a bit of time, sit aside with your portfolio, sync to your portfolio, see if your portfolio wants to look after you. If not, show the portfolio the door. You still have time. Anyway, depending on average price. Yo, Don Crypt, what is going on, bro? I still have my so this is it's funny, man. I'm because I am so kind of like it takes me a while sometimes to open a door. Like, I had Rio AI here when it was a micro cap. Everybody was like posting it in the discussions here. And this dev here is quality. Really, really good quality dev. And I do believe that this one's going to run because the volume is, it's at $4 million fully diluted, or just under $4 million. But this volume is insane, man. Every single day. I mean, let's just refresh this. 5.7 volume. Yeah, 5.76. And the funny thing is, the dev, all the projects that they do absolutely run. And I'm glad to be part of it. I can see this is it's good to work with good teams. I love Toshi, I love Cockro, Lemmy the Bat, I think, will have a crazy run, in my opinion. There's one more or two more that perhaps we can get from the dev that will do very well for the community. And I'll share those with you. But this has been a great runner. And of course, with everyone like this, I mean, this hasn't really began to explode yet, but there was a listing on LCX. They got tons of hype. And, this is I think this team just gets to list their projects regardless. That, and I like that, listing equals volume. More money, more problems. Give me the smoke. So I'm really happy that I did this video. Go check it out. It's on the channel. And I hope we can get a bit more plays from the same team, because I think they are absolutely superb team. Good to see you too, Sammy. And tell us when the micro pump. Thank you. So Sam, sorry. So the micro capsule pump, and to be honest, it's almost like, let's wait for the top two, the total two, and let's accumulate the rest. Because if you do that, I guarantee you, if you do that, you're gonna do very well. Why? Because I have absolutely marked these charts like a G, man. So here's what the picture is. So if we dial back, if you look at the total three, let's go to the weekly, total two, sorry. What we got to do, let's go with So let's look at the total crypto market cap. Yeah, we're good there. Yeah, we're good. We are very, very good on this. Let's have a look at this, guys, because I think for me, the ultimate thing here is no one's looking at the breakout of this very important total two chart. And I'm going to tell you something. This is 2021 top, right? You can see it right there. 2021 top, very, very clear. The reason why the total two needs to break out of the $1.7 trillion market cap is because that is when altcoin season is going to truly run, because this chart contains the likes of Ethereum and large caps, and it is going to be very crucial for us to have those kind of big market cap cryptocurrencies like ETH outperforming Bitcoin, bringing down the Bitcoin dominance, right? And what we see in here is, regardless of where the RSI is on the weekly, because we've been on a rip here, right? You can see we bottomed out on the total 2 at $820 billion on the 14th of April. So it's going to be, so for me, this chart has to break above this level that has been a resistance from the last bull market. So if that was the 2021 top right here, and we are at this level right now, and we did poke out, of course, above this yellow line, and we're still going. So we need to, once we actually finish above this, then it's good to go, brother. It's really, really good to go. So we could, this cycle could be anything $5 trillion to possibly $8 trillion in market cap. And this could actually be, the share of the market of this could actually easily be $5 trillion or $4 trillion. It really does. So to answer your question, when the pump will come once you see this chart truly smash it above what it did in 2021, which is right here, right there. And we just look so similar to where we top. I can see this going absolutely insane to the upside. So I hope that helps, man. Pandu has a good chart and a good team. Let's have a look at Pandu. Pandu. Is it on Solana? I think it's the one on Solana. Solana Pandu. Right only chart. And let's have a look at the metrics, because I think with 6,000 holders, the holders are up by 50+%, which is pretty good. What you're seeing here, just move myself across. So what you see in here, brother, is you notice as the price absolutely tumbled here, right? So the gray is the price, and of course, the balance holding is the yellow. You're not seeing the balances being dumped, basically. So from that perspective, I do see a strength right there. Whales of this project hold these kind of small ownerships, top 100 SPX leaderboard. So this trader here, he's holding, what is he holding? About $3,000 worth of this, 1.6 billion. This trader here using a bot is holding a nice chunk as well. And this guy is also holding, so not too many whales, but the whales in there, I mean, they have a bit of the token, but nothing too insane. In fact, the tokenomics, the top 100 addresses hold 63 billion. Is this out of 100 billion? I suppose that is a lot. But distribution score is 58% by the top 100. And of course, supply held by Fresh Wallet. This is mainly retail wallets coming in. That is around 20%, 21%, based on probably the calls that the KOLs have done. But so far, it's typical. But I do like, this is actually correspondent to the price performance. You can see balances ticking up, price gradually following. And right now, even the price is up there. Sorry, price is all the way down, but the balances have been held up. So yeah, it looks decent, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It looks Pandu looks okay, but just remember 58%. I mean, look, where do you draw the line? You go there as a team, you have to buy supply off pump.fun. And then, of course, after that, it's or wherever they launch it. But then after that, it becomes pretty difficult. But the top P&Ls, the biggest trader here made $31,000. Wow, 2,000. So 2,361%, and then another one done 17x, another one done 15x over. Sorry, 15,000. Sorry, this is ridiculous. Do they still have balance? 6% of the supply is still held by this token here, by this wallet. So this wallet's initial, let's have a look. Value, what is this, man? $22. Shit. This is September 11th, right? This retailer here. What is this? What did he get? Let's have a look. He's got some shit tokens, man. So he's hit this thing, obviously, and then he couldn't believe it. 22 bucks in, 5,000 sold. So he's been selling it all along there, 10,000, whatever, and peaked around. This is funny, man. $10,000, man. He's like, clip that. That's what I love about, when retail basically, imagine, this is life-changing, right, for someone. So he's hit Pandu basically, and he's like, okay, 23,000, I'm done. If he held it, I'm sure he probably would have made shitloads of money, man. Shed load, I should say. So it just goes to show you, look, he's not 62 trades, 3 tokens traded, 66% win rate, and obviously he's hit this 23K with Pandu, 16,000%. So that look, miracles can happen with meme coins, guys. Yes, I think we talked about Hemi in the Discord. Hemi looks fantastic, by the way. I can't remember what I said since the last time we spoke about, and I think give you a reply around here, but look at this. Low float, high FDV, of course, on Ethereum. And this is, I think I've done a Nansen checkup on this. So layer 2s are becoming more important back into the scene. And Hemi is a layer 2, world's largest Bitcoin programmability layer, 1.2 billion plus TVL. So this is kind of like, it's kind of come out of nowhere, like, because right now, no one's really talking about the narrative of BTC layer 2. Everybody's just kind of stuck on different things. So is this going to compete with Stacks? I think it's a good project. The only thing is the tokenomics make it a little bit scary. Having said that, let's have a look at the ecosystem. Surely they've got to be with Alex Labs, man. Nah, not at all. I can't see Alex Labs here. Perhaps because they want to compete with them. So look, it looks all right, bro. Like, $50 million market cap. But yeah, this week's been kicking off in the States as well. The far right had a demo today in London as well. I don't know what's happening to the world, by the way. But thank goodness to cryptocurrency, I don't have to deal with all of that bullshit. Racial baiting, religious division, all kinds of fucking bullshit happening around the world, man. We need to look after our children, guys. But yeah, this is looking very good, Ram. It looks good. It looks orange. This is the end of the thread of that tweet. But fucking yeah, it looks pretty, it looks tasty, man. The only thing is, I would just still do a bit more on it. I think I did the Did I do the, yeah, I did the Nansen. I think I sent it to you at the time. But of course, it's going to come out highly centralized because the tokens are not out yet. Because all of the tokens are not out, the chart is absolutely delicious. Nothing but the right. This chart has been doing nothing but going to the far right. It's quite topical at the moment. You know, I'd like to give opinions rather than just talk about, because you know, I'm not a robot like most crypto people. You know, I do have a quiet taste of international relations. I understand what pisses people off, what ticks people. Right now, the world is not a happy place. But coming back to crypto, guys, it is $51 million, up 28%. I mean, things have been pumping. Again, this volume is not accurate. $198 buy, 10 buys and sells. That is not accurate at all. Holders up by 126 holders. Snipers still has a fair bit of snipers in. No particular smart money being tracked. That's because the project is protected, in my opinion. Holders. Yeah, this is typical, but this is what we spoke about. The reason why you'd get a score like this, top 100 hold 99% of the supply, is because it has a vesting schedule. So until they sort that out, and of course, balance is dropping there. That was the big kind of, this is 3rd of September, but it has stabilized since. So it's looking good. We'll just need to study the tokenomics a bit more to see what they're doing with it. James said, have a look at Sat Layer. Let's have a look at Sat Layer. I'm spooked by Mint Layer. So anything with layer in it, I'm running, man. Shit layer, dump layer. Now this is a chart of great interest. So it's a new project. And honestly, when you look at projects in this format on Nansen, it kind of helps you a lot to actually look between the lines of what's happened to date, because that's more like it. Now, if we go to CoinGecko and we go for Sat Layer, what we're going to see here is a 10 million market cap, fully diluted, 50 million market cap. But this is the interesting period. So it's either some kind of a token contract migration, something happened there, and of course it looks like it's more of a migration than anything else. And Sat Layer is 50 million, FDV 38 million. It had an all-time high of just under 2 cents, 78% from all-time high. And of course, below that peak, and 42.3% above the lowest of all time. So still pretty cheap. The token itself, let's have a look at first of all, let's get to know the token. Just get the phone number for the token and get to know the token. Built on Bitcoin, new financial system. So clearly what we're seeing with Hemi and Sat Layer, Satoshi Layer, come on guys, wake me up, man. That's the most obvious link. Anyway, new financial system here built on Bitcoin. Surely they've got they've got to have some kind of connection with Alex Labs. Let's see. But you are noticing the Bitcoin layer being marketed again. TVL, stake BTC, secured by Bitcoin. Nice bit of graphics over there. For a minute, I thought it was a skateboard game. Backed by the best. So you see the likes of OKX. What else isn't there? Castle Island Ventures are in there. Bing. So they've got a number of VCs trusted by leading L1s and protocols. So we okay. Now we're talking. Now I'm starting to see some potentially hyped partnerships. You've got the likes of Plume. Now, of course, a lot of people think sometimes our partnerships don't mean shit, except that they are a marketing tool. But one project that has partnerships that actually make a real difference, for example, is XLR, connected to 80 plus chains, moving billions and billions of dollars in liquidity without actually being in the headline. So sometimes in a football team, you need these defensive midfielders. You need these N'Golo Kante projects that connect to all of these different other projects and make them work. And prices tend to stay down lower for longer. But once they catch a narrative, then bang. So I would say tokenomics, still some tokens to come out, but I am seeing some kind of a good backing. I am seeing a return of a Bitcoin focus projects that the team have been asking me for the last few days, and that is very interesting. So this is claiming to be the economic layer. One thing we need to check out is also the market. So this is also on Kraken. So kind of neck and neck, similar. Actually, this is way smaller in terms of the market cap compared to, for example, Hemi. But nevertheless, I would actually go as far as saying, let's look at what's going on in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Because if you don't know what happens in every kind of like every bullish part of any cycle, is this becomes back into focus. And it's not a priority right now. It's not at all. Like, people should be looking at this just like gaming. In fact, I'd favor gaming more than the BTC layer 2 space, but I know when it runs, it runs. For example, the Bitcoin dogs, I know many whales that hold this. And I think they've moved to Solana as well. You could actually buy this on Sol. But the original bad boy here, Dog Go to the Moon, is sitting around on its backside, right? And it's also Dog USDT. It's on Mexi as well. So it's a good time to actually really investigate what's going on with the Bitcoin ecosystems. This is Trax has been one of the most disappointing one, but you do have, as long as you know who the kind of whales are that have been holding these runes and whatever, man, they got crazy amount of money. So yeah, thank you. Look at Orange here. That shit now is sitting at 400K market cap. I don't know if we'll be around for the next P today. Runes, like, this is insane. Like, friggin', this is a whole entire dead sleeping narrative. So yeah, I guess that's you raised that very, very important point. Man City in the building. Oh my days. How are you, bro? It's been a while, man. It's been a minute. I hope you and the family are well. And I hope you guys in the States, anyone in the UK today, anyone in central London, especially some of my family members, do not go out today. Tommy Robinson is out. Get your popcorn, watch Netflix, and match of the day. Hope you're doing well, man. Do you see Metacade recovering and passing its all-time high? Metacade. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a quick story about Metacade. So I sent a contact to Russell, who is the kind of like the owner of Metacade. I was like, yo, Russ, what's happening, man? It'd be amazing for you to come on an AMA with us in our community. So first he responded to me. He was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I'll come on next week or whatever. I'm just returning from Los Angeles. I was like, yo, we got a potential Metacade community, and we'd love to hear from you. Anyway, the man comes back to me. My guy comes back to me a couple of days ago, right? Emotionally. And man's attacking me about bots on my channel. The picture my team used to do his thumbnail. And it's like, if one of your team members has done their research correctly, you would have known I don't like wearing suits. It's like, what the fuck? Hey, what are you smoking, man? You got a shit chart. I'm offering you a platform to come and explain yourself to the people. Are you kidding me, man? He was like, no, thank you very much. I'll pass it. And he was offended. He was offended because one of the scam bots or whatever was probably just, it went onto my channel. And these are the same fucking people that go and pay channels. Like, what's his name? What's the other English guy? There's an English guy there who's always talking about Aether. I don't know what the fuck his name is, but he sounds like a good guy. But yeah, I know he does a lot of pushes, and they probably pay him like thousands, hundreds, 50 grand, 100 grand or whatever to actually push his shit. So not only did he decline the AMA after agreeing to it, he was pissed off by a bot. So if you ain't got the metal, right, to kind of like come and, forget the bot, man. If the bot told you to buy Grok 1300, he's doing that to every single friggin' YouTube channel in the world. But this guy was like, this guy got emotional with me. And I think the pressure of this chart has been getting into him. And for that reason, I'm out. Honestly, it tells you a lot. Look, it's a brilliant project. I think he's a great guy. Nothing against him. I think he will do very well. But in all honesty, he's working hard. I've seen some of his spaces. Don't come to my DM, man, after I've offered you a platform. I get all emotional with me, man. I'm not onto that period of shit. If you want to do that somewhere else. Your chart's looking weak. Your project ain't doing shit. DXB has given you the courtesy of offering you an AMA on his channel, and man's getting pissed off about my bots. My Grok 13 bot. I'm not gonna lie about it. There's people are saying there's a couple of Nigerian brothers in my YouTube comments. Today I spent like 2 hours deleting comments on the bots, man. But that's hilarious, man. These bots go, Mr. Russell. Metacade CEO, if you're watching this, brother, I'm going to give you my flowers. Yeah. Just just drop me a message. Come on an AMA and we will host you. We'll even buy you a drink. And next time, any of my Nigerian bots, or they could be English bots, whatever, Indian bots, Ghanaian bots, they could be friggin' Pakistani bots, Swedish bots. I don't care. Anytime you get emotional about my team creating a thumbnail with you wearing a suit, or you taking offense to my bots, man, I am sorry. I'm sorry. So to your question, I would love to have somebody from Metacade to come and talk about this chart. Cockro, bro, is absolutely coming back. I do believe there was a video out today. So I've got a brother called Tebow in the group, And I'm so grateful to him for helping me with regards to the Cockro updates, news. And you can see Cockro, I think, is trading back on Uniswap. You are seeing life back into the project. So get your bags. Like, honestly, you know, don't worry about the what's going on now, because long term there's going to be legal fight, and they cannot block. The frigging cabal has basically went to Uniswap and blocked the contract, claiming exclusive IP rights, because look, there's shit project basically, and as a result, they got emotional and they went to Uniswap and said, "Oh, Cockro is basically stealing our limelight. They got a better community than us. You know, they got bigger willies than us." And I hate when that happens. Look, how many versions of Neuro were there? But ever since this bad boy in Ethereum came out and they realized that the team have successfully got Vitalik to sell his bag, which means then the donation would be tagged into to the community to say, look, you know, that's what he did with Neuro. When they realize they're not going anywhere, what do? They go and complain to my big mama, Uniswap. Yo, crypto is a dirty game. Honestly, if you don't believe, look, if you believe crypto is a dirty game, guys, smash a like, because these little boys got emotional. And for me, I don't give absolutely no shits, no f's. Excuse my French. I'm always saying how it is. Jealousy and envy is a mother's whatever. I don't want to swear at mothers, but jealousy and envy in this world is unbelievable. The moment they realized that the black ship got accepted by Vitalik to sell the bag, most people think, oh, he sold his bag. No, because that's bullish. You sell the bag and then he gives it to charity, right? And then kapam. That's what happened with Neuro. This is 2.0. But what happened here was, this particular episode will pass. Cockro will get back to its former glory, and none of this will be remembered because the community is strong enough. And I do believe they cannot keep a good dog down. And there is no reason for this to be pumping today. I mean, look, 7%, you know, up 7% for the day. It doesn't look like a project that's dead to me. But if it does come down again, I'd be happy to buy some more. Because it's just the principle, you know, like these guys are doing charities. And what's the cabal doing? Look, they've, I don't really know what they're, to be honest, I've never really looked into their historical, you know, situation, but I think that is going to zero. So this is what the cabal is basically, you know, this is a shit chart, man. So for me, anyway, I don't know why people fight when it comes to this. Let the best team do whatever they want to do and focus your energy on your project instead of blocking people on Uniswap and claiming IP rights. You've not done yourself a favor. And yes, you have made a whopping 13% out of the misery of the Cockro ETH community. But that don't mean shit. You're still down 23, 24%. And we're talking about 23, 24%. Guys, people are looking forward to 5,000, you know, 10,000%, 20,000%. In my opinion, I do feel very strongly about the dirty games, the jealous, you know, mofos out there, all of that shit. I hate that. You know, I believe in, you know, fair trade and free economics. May the best man win. Of course, if you've got intellectual property that's very specific, fair enough. But this is crypto, man. There is millions of different iterations of a project. And unless you got a unique layer one or whatever you have, everybody out there is ready to be forked. So that's my opinion. And of course, Nitin stays strong. Brother, this project is at what? $5 million? $5 million market cap, man. 50 million, 100 million. You're already making money, right? Plan for the future. I think it's more important to let certain things cook. Hopefully, once it comes out of the litigation, if there is one, then we'd be good to go. All in say, and of course, this was by far the worst cycle. I think 26. I'll kick the 100%, bro. It's been a bad cycle, but to be honest, we've never caught any breaks. Like I said to you, this is your alt season indicator right here in the total 2. When this shit blows up, there's no coming back. So I think, you're right. 26, potentially 25 as well. We will have opportunities to make mad money, guys. Lube is on coin market cap. Yes, brother. Let's have a look at Lube. And while I look at this, maybe I'm lagging. Yes, AI project, right, bro? AI project. Let's have a look at this. What is this? Is a member of a scammer team. Lube. What is this? What's happening? Okay, Lube is volume is low market cap, profile score 48%. What's happening? All-time high, August 22nd. So 22 days ago, it went to its all-time high. Now it's 44% down. That is a proper correction because it's probably not fully diluted. Is it fully diluted? Total supply, FDV. Yeah, it is. So yeah, it looks like all the tokens are out. No, sorry, 30. Holy crap, what is this? Yeah, sorry, 30 million out of the 100 million tokens are out. So seeing if I can get any. I wonder, sometimes it's always good to look at the. What is he talking about, this guy? Let's have a look and see. There's no comments, replies to him. Okay. Now, next place where we need to go before we do the forensics is the website. So what's the website saying? Automate your critical business workflow with AI. AI-driven workflows automate, design you, work it easy for you, start free, blah, 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 blah. Get work done across all your favorite tools. So question is, I have ChatGPT, there's Slack integration, possibly Google Notion, Microsoft Zoom. Workloop AI. Workloop AI. Man, I'm scared of these AI projects. Anything with a stick AI. GPU AI. They've run out of AI names. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous, man. So, brother, look, let me be honest with you. Nothing about this gives me the chills. There's not like I'm not and I'm not being funny. If you've obviously got into this at an early stage, then great. If you are simply gem hunting, you have Uniswap and Orbit. We are at the final hours of possibly the biggest bull market of our lives. Here's my question for you. What has led you to find this project? Why? Because when it's $5 million market cap, look, I can tell you what led me to find low cap meme coins because I understand the cult community and that type of thing. when it comes to a fundamentally big play like this, like it's an infrastructure project, right? So arguably not the most sexiest of niches, because people don't really understand. Like, let's be fair, you know, workflow is quite a niche thing here. So the chart looks like it came out of, I mean, this is probably liquidity swap or something's happened here. But the chart came out and it kind of like, it looks like it's engineered to hold in this kind of range, in my opinion. Having said that, it will kind of catch attention because, you know, people hear workflow, people hear stuff like that, but right now volume's not there. Decent score on the audits, by the way, although it has failed on these two. Now let's have a look at this. Fee modification function, that's fine. Potential fee, that's not, you know, projects do that for marketing, right? Ownership not renounced, owner maintains special privileges. So there you go. So it's very risky, and unless you can justify to me, like, these are the sexy reasons why I've got this, I can't let you spend money on that. As a brother, I would say stay well clear of that. And let's say you're going to put $1,000 into this. You could actually put $1,000 in a decent meme coin with a great community and get more multipliers, right? Look at Neura's volume. Let's have a look at Neura. I hope you appreciate that directness, brother. I'm not here for no nonsense, man. I'm too old, and this cycle has aged me another 10 years. So I'm going to give people exactly what they want by giving them access to tools that are very expensive for the average man to have. Like this Nansen is not cheap. Yo, they rugged. This is on my daughter's name. What's the volume? Holy crap, bro. What's happened to Neuro AI? Neurolabs. I bought this because of my daughter. My daughter is called Neuro. Shit, man. 800K market cap. Sales volume 8K. Yeah, it's these projects, but like, I mean, at the moment, nothing is going to these micro caps anyway. But that's quite interesting. Of course, it is kind of centralized here. Look, top 100, they've been buying like up 30%. But I'm telling you, the supply held by the top 100, 34%, actually is better than a lot of these other ones. Amount held by medium holder, $17. But balance is going up. Someone's buying it. But this person here, look, that's liquidity. They pull liquidity here. Look, see this? What's the value of this? Ownership 39%. Rotting, man. Bomber cloud, bruv. They are ruthless. 2.7. What is this? Let's see. Said, oh, okay, yeah. Liquidity pools. Liquidity pool movements, man. I said that's a nice way for a project to manage. I guess it's expenses. What happened to Based AI and Marvia? Well, Marvia is doing well. It's holding well. They posting, they tweeting. So nothing's happened to Marvia. Marvia is just a casualty of the market. Based AI, that's a piece of shit. I mean, Based AI is, by all intents and purposes, possibly one of the worst teams. They are up 6% today. Nothing crazy. Their chart is dead. Volume is dead. Somehow they've got some traction today. Now the thing about Based AI, it's not so much about the project. I think nobody knows what the team does. They're probably taking the money from Pepe Coin and left with it. So I guess that's what it is. But look, so far, here's what we know on the back end. It's all about the back end. And based AI here, look, it's nothing, absolutely nothing. It still has 16K holders, marginally down. Still has 200K in liquidity, right? If you look at this, it has a very high score in audit. But where it suffers, like most people don't know this, and I only found out when I started to use Nansen, less than 95% of the liquidity is locked or burnt. Potential rug pull. Now it passes almost every single other audit, right? So the score that it actually has from a year ago here, you can see there's no low risk. So when you do these kind of researches, you see a project like this, which has literally exchanges have been selling it. Especially, look, if you look at this is the hot wallet for Mexi, right? Mexi owns, so they gave 4% of the total supply to Mexi. Mexi still owes 1.45 million, valued at that much, right? So you could see here last 24 hours, obviously, Mexi hot wallet, it could be purchases, it could be them selling, there could be multiple different reasons, but initially they still own quite a chunk. And one thing you saw with most of the other projects is the balances have been going up when the prices have been coming down. That's absolutely classic accumulation. I got no problem with that. But look at this one. Balances are going down as the prices continue to tumble. They're just going down and down. And most of it is because the exchanges are dumping based AI. Now, this whale, well, led to believe could be Carl Chassé, perhaps. Who's this? This is the, I don't know if he dumped it or whatever, but this particular whale, 21st of August, right, at 29 per token, he absolutely got rid of a ton of tokens, and then of course he sold. This particular whale then went back in. I think this token millionaire, what did he buy? He bought some more. So it's kind of like doing the forensics is I guess the most important thing. But if you look at the token millionaires, look, this guy, this whale here, zero ownership, sold. So all the whales, majority of these whales have dumped. But you have some of them, okay, you've got some of them with kind of like big balances. In terms of the public figures, I guess the $1 million question is and I didn't want to do forensics on this, by the way, so please excuse me. But I think it's going to be an important subject for the crew. So a public figure is an influencer, right? Is a prominent figure, whatever. Now, of course, you've got a lot of people that attribute this project to Carl Chassé, because his whole thesis was, the man got many people hyped up, including myself. Yo, this is the next Potenza Tau. This is what they're doing. And you do the research and you start to connect 1 and 2. And he did say that the team are absolute chads. Now, this public figure here, his wallet is not really labeled, but some wallets are with their names. Like you see big people holding certain things. So I do believe, let's have a look. Drew Austin, wallet name, Roger Lim. Got Tyler Ward here. Crypto Hunts. You see, Nansen is mental. Like, you could absolutely sit here. So let's see who this is. Who is this guy? So that's a Pepe coin whale and a liquidity provider who's holding a tons. Could be one of our guys, you know. Yeah, well, so let's effing go. Loki in the building, bro. Bona dia, my brother. Graham, man, look, very recently, bro, like it was shilled on this live stream. And let me tell you something. This bat, I think in the first instance, I think this will run very, very hard in I think this runs very, very hard in the up and coming Halloween, because the chart is very, very good. Like I said, the volume is exceptional. And I just think the team is exceptional. So I got into it like, you know, very recently, like, you know, the last kind of 48 hours or whatever. But I do believe when you have a team like this, man, need more projects from these guys. These are absolute chads. You know, man's getting on xt.com. This could be on crypto.com, whatever. Look, so many exchanges with crazy volume. So I do believe that this one is it's a runner. I just really did think that $3 million with good trading volume should see it in, should see it go higher. Of course, you could also buy it from the Binance Web3 wallet. It's on the, it's just, you know, it's just such a good team in my opinion. But the token itself actually has utility. I don't know if anyone saw my my review of this. It actually has utility. You know, when you look at, you've got the Lemmy the Bat, inspired by Matt Fury, and of course, the ecosystem itself has the ability to generate meme coins through AI, which I think utility is going to be kind of more important for meme coins nowadays, if you think about it, because a lot of these meme coins will get better. But ultimately, look, I'm in about, honestly, I'm in about 100 different alpha groups on across various platforms anyway. And most of it, sometimes it's very hard to sustain the volume. But what I've noticed with these guys is they just literally, like, they audit their shit. They get it down on the and this is hilarious, by the way. I can't think of any other bat. And when you look at the roadmap, this is what you have, right? So AI technology, pure bat powered mayhem. This is all kind of like produced. This would have been, the Great Awakening would have been a perfect stage to actually grab some of this. But I'm thinking, when I first came across this, I was just like, how comes you're listing with volume like everywhere? Like this is kind of just jumping onto like all the good exchanges. So this roadmap, we're probably at this level now, probably gone up to 12 million previously. Market cap now 2.5 to 5 mil. Phase 2, that's done. Like I said, it went to like, and again, like you can tell they really take care, because they're also on CoinMarketCap, and CoinMarketCap is the premier standards for listings when it comes to the requirement to be able to list on CoinMarketCap is different, right? So I do like it, and I hope to get, big up these guys, because I'd love to get more projects with them, because they will pump these projects. And of course, nothing is guaranteed in life, but as long as you haven't got exchanges and stuff like that to worry about, and it's all taken care. And there's a strong community and all of the ticks. I think it does very well. And to be honest, we've got a very good track record with meme coins. Look, if you took my Toshi buy in the depths of the red days, if you got into Peanut with me, I got into Peanut at 45 million, got my receipts. It went on to do like 167 or 170 x from the entry. It went all the way to like 2 billion from a 45 million entry, right? Low fees at runner, but I am actually looking at base. Few of them have been popping up on my radar, and I'm talking to a couple of people to get a good base one, perhaps another Ethereum one as well. Look out for that. You know what, Dan? I wouldn't be surprised, man. How you telling me that the volume is that high and the team is just blessed in these projects, man? It's fucking insane. Excuse my French. Thoughts on Rio? How much market cap can it attain? Ragu, my brother, first of all, greetings to you and your family, man. You came in with the fire straight away. I love, my favorite part is the exits on the good old. What's your expectation, Rio? Now Rio Ferdinand is. I haven't actually checked. There is a decent community for Rio, and especially on X. Sorry. So Rio right now, I remember they changed their tokenomics. Since then, I haven't followed this since probably about 2 years ago. Last time I looked at this was probably that crazy RWA run we had back in 2024. It's very hard to say. $30 million, decent trading volume. Let's go back to their site. Now, RWA is a real thing. I've been telling people to buy Ondo like when it retraced like so much, and now they're tokenizing the stock market. So what you're going to start seeing is stock market, TradFi, all of these guys tokenizing, trillions of dollars. The true cycle for me personally of RWA, this is kind of like a snippet of what's about to come. The mad cycle for RWA is going to be the next cycle when Wall Street and all of these guys are basically on Ethereum doing this. But this has been, this was a good favorite of mine. Like I said, when RWA was fairly new, an interoperable layer one RWA project. Of course, you can do well. I do believe that other projects have come on. But what I'm looking for with Relio is anything new, because I haven't, like I said, I haven't looked at this for donkeys, So we're looking at this. Any new partnerships? Anything new to add to their Freehold wallet? Any institutional adoption? Who's this district still on fire? Passport, Relio. So it will have, as a layer one, obviously, it will have other projects being built on top. So really, you caught me with this one because I don't know what the F is going on here and why I should be bullish beyond, like, compared to all the other RWA projects. Yes, it's a layer one. It's an OG. Any recent announcements? So I'd probably get back to you on this one. But there are competitors now. So when Relio did absolutely crazy, there was the market was way smaller. Now I can immediately give you one project that is an interesting one, TokenFi. So what you have is similar market caps, You got some floating money behind these guys. So RWA, you got BKN in this kind of smaller, actually even smaller than this, with a potentially greater upside. You've got the one on base and Aptos as well. I forgot the name. So you do have options. And if you've been accumulating Rio for a long time, then of course, really depends on your average. But yeah, I could see, I mean, a 10x, it's you're not going to like that, but a 10x would be from 3 million, 30 million to 300 million. And then anything else after that, bro. Dorian Johnson, appreciate you, brother. Keep on. Oh, man, much love. What you're doing, appreciate that, man. Absolutely legendary. Thank you so much. Steve. Oh, mate, you know, when they see Tommy Robinson, man, you know, I had a few people texting me, obviously lying to me, a couple of my friends who are cabbies. It's all in good nature, bro. Mahindra said, what are my bull targets for the Epik chain? I think we're going to have an Epik run with that one. Why? Because it's just because of the XRP narrative, man. It's just ridiculous. But do you remember when I gave you the last chart, guys? Honestly, this was mad. I'll show you. So I said to you guys, it's going to come and test this level. And if it breaks this level, we are heading here. So guess what it did? I came all the way here, tested this, and then pow. Now, what I would say is in terms of the potential for crazy bull run here, let's just take this out there. Clear these. So if you look at this, let me just share this chart with you. So a few weeks ago, I drew this line and I said, guys, it's going to come down to this. This is where we need to watch. If we break this, because this is the previous channel. So, you know, rejection. And then, of course, it broke out here. So it got rejected. Broke out of here, went to all-time high, wicked all the way to, I think it was $3 plus. Then it came back down. So realistically, if we're thinking about what the upside potential is going to be, let's just pull, let's come back to, the recent pullback. Actually, we could even go as far as this low here. It's just a newer asset, so it's much more difficult to sometimes have a clear projection on these. But we can see the 2618, which is an area of very comfortable exit for me, has multiple decent prices. You know, I think $5 will be a target for a lot of people because we're almost there. So if you got in, you know, at the very, very low, then that could be, you know, some people actually, you know, not everyone looks for 100x, right? Some people look for like a 10x, 5x. In fact, a lot of the smart money just comes in and out. I can see us getting into, I'd probably say, look, conservatively, I would start taking profits all over this 2618. And if I really wanted to push it, I would try and get even more out of this level here. You know, so you can, I mean, you can see this doing more than $10, but I'm just saying hypothetically, you want to be pulling out, you want to be out of the way. Of course, we can play with these numbers. I like to do it with the most conservative, the most conservative estimates to the kind of slightly more bullish targets, and you can actually get both sides. But guys, the most important thing for you would be to get your money out of this market. Can you imagine how mad it's going to be when the bear market comes, man? When the bear market catches people out unintentionally, not knowing what the F is going on. And everyone's going to hold up for higher targets. I guarantee you now, if I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet, I would bet a lot of people, not those of you listening to this live tonight, but a lot of people in this bull market will end up getting absolutely, they will come back with their backs, because I know it's just human nature, man. You do 200%, 400%, 1,000%, and you're like, nah, I'm getting 100x. Boom. And that's how they're going to pull you. You know, they're not going to pull you in any other way. You know, you are going to be your worst enemy. You know, again, you know, this is comfortably, I think, you know what, top end Epik chain, 12, probably 15 to $20 irrationally. Otherwise, it will be insane. I'm so behind, right? James said, am I bullish on SAT? I think, look, like I said before, I'm not sure if you were here, James, but I think a lot of these Bitcoin projects, like SATs is a well-known project. So yeah, I think the only problem is we are seeing new kind of Bitcoin projects as well. But SATs now under $100 million, I think is a pretty good interesting accumulation, in my opinion. Look at that. It's been in this kind of absolutely legendary sideways forever. So if you look at it that way, and again, you know, people don't understand what this SATs does or what it means. This is us, you know, you can't get more Bitcoin than this, right? That's what it is. So again, you know, Bitcoin maxes are a different breed. Like they are just different, man. But this BRC20, runes, ordinals, all of that BS is now quiet. But when the time comes, I think they will just talk about this stuff. So it's really like it's an obvious one because of the length of time which SAT has been in accumulation. That something is going on there. And that's the crypto version of where there's smoke, there's fire. There's, you know, the charts. The charts are just an indicator. So if we go back to these, sorry, let me go. SAT USDT. Let's just look at the Bybit chart. You see what I mean there, James? Look at that. This is and this one is not even the kind of true reflection. If you had to look at this, so it's below the it's just below the VWAP on the 4 hourly. And if we, let me see if I can get the, let's change these, man. These are ugly, ugly candles. Let's go back to Heiken-Ashi. So what you have is the price is sitting below the VWAP. Volume weighted average price, which actually is a way better indicator than most of these moving averages that people use. Again, this is more great for looking at short term, like for trading, but you can actually use this quite accurately. You might see that blue line. So this is the average instead of just being a lagging indicator. This, you've got to use other indicators. I'm using institutional order blocks here. You could see that wick there, the red bar. So when you look at something like this, it's very hard to not really miss this. Like you can see, you know, it's being controlled here. This is then sideways. So you really can't see this turning bullish, you know, now, but maybe later if the Bitcoin whales rotate into it. But historically, this has been a hell of a misery. Like you can see here, nothing's been happening here for years. Okay, so you can see it got listed in March, but that's as flat as they come. We're just enjoying the pumping on Somi, and yes, Brusky, Somi is doing well. Let's have a look at the chart. Let's have a look. Because it's on Binance as well. Look at that. Let's have a look at the. So what you have on the short-term time frame, you have this beautiful move for Somi. Absolute classic pattern there. And it's pumped again. The RSIs are kind of like well above where they need to be. So in the short term, you know, look, in the 4 hours, in the hourly as well, it's facing that resistance. You can see here it's coming to an order block, as well as the upper band of this green line. So you might see the price testing this. You might see the price coming back to this VWAP and then maybe reacting off that. That's the obvious one. So that's Somi for you, bro. And of course, what's the other one? AVNT. I think, I don't know if you're in our Discord, we talked about it today, maybe. So this one is a banging project on base. Mexi has the biggest chart or the longest chart. Look at this. It's just literally been going one way. Just one-way street to Valhalla. Well above the VWAP. Good volume. Oversold on the 1 hourly. You know, the RSI is over 100. Of course, it's a new project. And if it goes above $1, then we can see this going into a price discovery of epic proportions. Good picks over there, bro. Yeah, man, that's the guy. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That guy that's always talking about Aether and fucking Metacade and all of these getting tokens, and then, yeah, man. Yo, okay, what's happening? My brother, bro. What I can't even read it, bro. Wait. Yeah. We need to get Cave on the channel, man. Graham said, good time to buy Foxy and Lynx. Linear is pumping and the TVL is at all-time high. I think so, bro. I think we're going to get good opportunity this week. I really do. So, yeah. Bro said, thoughts on Flock. Let's bring up the Flock chart. Flock. So what we have is, you can always look at the... You can always see these order blocks. You know, sometimes it's good to kind of look at them, to use them as a support and resistance. But the price did a couple of days ago. I think it was it? Yeah, sometime towards the end of the week when we got that bullish news. The price did actually show a pump towards that 70 cents. You can see a massive, massive candle here. You saw that. That was quite relevant. Now, the thing about I did a post about this internally within the group. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. Flock. Like, people don't know about this. This is, it's going under the radar. Let's just put it that way. I think what puts people off, like, people don't really like sometimes, base has solid projects. If you look at this, a lot of the base projects have low float, high FDV, Cato, Flock, Avantis, you name it. Good quality projects, but they usually just circulate with around 200 million out of the 1 billion. Morpho was the same, right? So the picture is very clear that this is a well tried and tested model within the base ecosystem. I've compared like a lot of projects, and these projects that do well on base typically have low float, high FDV. You can see this crashed from the pre-sale or whatever it was all the way down, and the chart just flattened. Now, not your models, not your AI. Now, when I talked about this, I'm sure I might even have a video on the channel. I think the live models are quite interesting. What makes it even more interesting is the Flocks partnership, right? They have good partnerships. So these are, yeah, these guys are backed really well. And as far as AI agents are concerned, I mean, base is really the home of AI. So I think the chart is at a good level, and I do believe the base projects can do well. But one thing that is a massive danger right now is you just don't see any volume. And this is on the Mexi, so it's not really. So if you saw here, that was pretty good, right? Then of course they're gonna sell. The volume tells you a lot. Then we had this little pump. You can actually be profitable and kind of go in and out of projects if you wanted, based on the volume. Yeah, big facts, bro. I think they will do very well. James said the Loop founder is talented and won the Solana launch house. Oh, really? Yeah, the Nansen volume indicator doesn't really look at the. I guess they pulled the data from the exchanges, bro. Yeah, Omar said, how are you, bro? Bro said, how do I feel about Cetus? Now, you know me love Sui. And Sui is Cetus is Sui's little boy. So it's hard for me to look at it in a negative light. Despite what's happened, in my opinion, this is the picture of the cliff that we've had. We've had the hack, we've had all kinds of drama, and above all, again, sporadic volume with these projects, even though this had a lot of good days. Now, at the moment, it's oversold on the daily. I've put the hack behind me because I understand that when fundamentals come to the fore, eventually this will run very hard with Sui. The great thing is it's sub 10 cents. It's just climbed over 10 cents. But a couple of days ago, it was kind of like 8 cents. This is the absolute low This range is incredibly interesting I've had this line for many, many months now. I think when you look at Sui as a whole, the ecosystem has not been thriving because the layer one, Raoul Powell is not going around to every channel there is and talking about how Sui is going to be the revolution of crypto. But let me tell you something. Make no mistake, Sui will have a Solana type of run next cycle. Bitenso Tau will be in the multiple hundreds of billions of dollars in valuation. I think if we get another bite at Chainlink in the next bear market, got to put the house on it. There are 10 cryptocurrencies that we normally have in our VIP group that will be here for forever, pretty much. Most other cryptocurrencies will go. So if you're thinking about the number one DEX or the biggest DEX on Sui, you've got good competition. Bluefin tried it. You got Scallop with a good TVL, completely different. But I think it all comes back to Cetus, in my opinion. So yeah, man, get them Cetus thing. Kusu. Is it good? Let me see if I can find it here. Bo came up with some next level coins, man. Are those from the cave, bro? Guys, you won't believe how cheap Floke is. This is one of my favorite meme coins. I just love this. It does nothing except when ETH runs. Look where Floke is. What's the ticker, bro? Kapow? What was it? Kusu. Oh shit, $2 million market cap. I hear you, bro. Look at that. Rockets. I think you've actually shared this with me at a very small micro cap level. That's another chart to the right. 2 million market cap. Of course, the Solana meme coin. And what is this? Pengu's cousin or love child or something? Read our Magna. Meme coins can't be created. So interesting, man. You know what? A lot of people got Solana phobia, but every now and then some decent coins come out, man. Chart looks good. Liquidity is locked 200K, exactly 10% of market cap. It's hard to it's always a good trade, bro. The other one is what? Army? Yeah, Army looks fun. I just like the website. The avatar, sorry. Yeah, I'm sure this is one of Caveman's mates. It looks fun. It looks funny, man. It looks funny. The chart wise, you've got still early days. I mean, how many days is this? Again, it's in price discovery. Like it's literally broken out. Yeah, nothing but green candles. You're eating green candles like cornflakes, caveman. Cornflakes with no milk. Yo, the new iPhones. You know what, Graham? I'm glad you brought that subject up, bro. Let's leave these shitcoins for a minute because we need to talk about Apple, man. I've kept my iPhone 13 Pro Max until just before the iPhone 16 or whatever it was. I got an iPhone 15. But I don't really know what's happening, man. Like, I think apparently some of them look amazing. Especially this orange. I mean, how would I want to carry an orange phone unless I'm out in the wilderness? Actually, you know what? Somebody told me today they got the orange. If I would get like the black Pro Max is probably it looks the best, but that kind of small Ultra is just kind of insane, man. Like colors. Yeah, it's a shame they haven't actually got a black iPhone this year. The blue, I like the blue. I currently actually have a blue myself. But I don't know, man. Like, is anyone upgrading? I mean, the space is so insane. Like, I saw over 100 different meme coins, or hundreds of them, that were launched on Pump Fund and all these kind of places just before Apple came out. But yeah, man, we're not doing an advert for iPhone. I think I'll stick to my 15 or 16 for a couple of more years. Look at the volume of him compared to MI. It's just getting started. Oh, is it? Aventus Network. Looks good, man. We talked about it enough. Rotted. So, Casper for Kita. Kita will be Solana for this new, not Sui. Wow, that is a major conviction. And if you don't believe me, brother, my Kita bag was legendary. I think I got KTA, and I like to every now and then just say, look, man, I found a gem. My KTA entry was like friggin' insane, man. Where's Kita? Where's Kita? Where's Kita? Kita's entry was like, probably, you know, like when you get a good entry and then you feel like, oh man, I wish I would have bought more. But yeah, Kita looks good, bro. Kita looks good. Casper, the difficult thing for me is if I ever got out of Casper, I think I would go possibly just front load on Tau. But because I'm up on Casper and my early entry has never been threatened, I think it's always been one of the reasons why I held on to it, because I genuinely believe if they can sort the smart contracts out, you know, and detach themselves from anything else, like just get those, have a good ecosystem with a good TVL, that would have been insane, guys. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, super for my brother. Guys, smash the like if you're in this live stream, man. We've got a decent turnout tonight. Yes. So from a chart perspective, we have a couple of order blocks that we need to clear. I guess, I mean, fundamentally, we know what it is. It was meant to be an oracle, and it branched out to a oracle plus a general purpose layer 1. We have a couple of resistances that it needs to test, and the chart is genuinely at a kind of low point right? Like this is these levels actually come quite nicely on the with the fib. So we are below certain key levels for now. And let me see if I can just put on, let's add VWAP to this. Let's have a look. Bearish, bearish, bearish. 1 hour, 4 hours. So it's kind of like, let's have a look at the daily on the VWAP level. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, in the short term, the price is struggling below the VWAP. And it's also entering this levels of liquidity. Having said that, look, if you go back to the longer term chart, you just notice where the price action is right now. Look, it is absolutely on its backside. In other words, it's on its ass. Now, it did really well. It had bits of great marketing. I remember, you know, Altcoin Daily and all of those guys that jumped on the bandwagon. Fundamentally, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I think it's just the consumers will always look at, if you're looking at layer one, so you've got the Champions League of your Solanas, your Ethereums, your Chainlinks, and all of those. Then you got this group I call the Europa League layer ones. And these guys are fighting for fifth place, not even in the top four, man. They're fighting for that European places. Then you got some that are competing on the old Cup Winners' Cup and stuff like that. You know, whatever they call it now. This one, there are a few layer ones just to watch as a potential runners. Now, from what I can see, the volume to market cap has completely gone. Like, it's got a million in volume. That's what I was saying. When you see meme coins with like 5-6 million in volume, this is a $56 million market cap cryptocurrency with a 24-hour trading volume of just 1 million. That's unacceptable. A general purpose layer one should not have that type of volume. Fundamentally, it's strong, and it will have a season. Build the future of finance with automatic DeFi. You know, they've got all of these things happening for them. And they should have good exchanges. Let's have a look. Bybit is probably their biggest. They don't have a tier one. So yeah, at the moment, I think it's a good time to keep monitoring for sure. Good evening there, Pip. How are you? WeChat Doge. Is that alpha? Is that some alpha, brother? So guys, look, what time is it, man? Oh my days. It's 1:30, man. Guys, you have a wonderful, how many hours did I do? 2 hours and 19 minutes. I think that's good public service. God bless you all. And the how-to, I'll definitely tell you how I feel about AI 16 when I get some rest. But God bless you all. Have a wonderful Saturday. Stay safe and have an amazing one. It's a Chinese project on Solana. It was launched on Bonk Fun. Appreciate that, my brother. I'll take a look, man. I need another cup of coffee, but guys, smash a like. If you haven't actually, you know, if you've been on my live stream and you haven't actually given me a like after 2 hours of effort, then I just think you're very stingy and you shouldn't come back here. But for the rest of you legends, on your way out, click, click, click. Give us a few likes so we can actually, that's the only thing we ask for. Peace.